Let's take a look at some sample problems from section 7.4 on linear inequalities. And we'll begin on page 325 in the text. And we're going to start with the matching group. We have set notation in numbers 1 through 6. And we're to match those to the appropriate graph or interval notation that we see in the second choice. So let's begin with number 1 is the set of all x such that x is less than or equal to 3. So we're looking for a graph that would indicate x is less than or equal to 3. Okay, a is greater than 3. B doesn't include 3. C is greater than 3. It looks like answer D, negative infinity to 3 inclusive. So our answer is D. Okay, and number 2, the set of all x such that x is greater than 3. Okay, so as we look at this, we want to be greater than 3. The problem with the graph in A is that it includes 3. It's greater than or equal to 3. B is less than. C would include, let's see, does not include 3 and goes to infinity, so that would be correct. Okay, number 3, the set of all x such that x is less than 3. Okay, if we look at the first graph, it's greater than 3 and it includes 3. Less than 3, actually, graph B is correct. Alright, moving on to number 4, the set of all x such that x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, and so as we look, the very first graph includes the 3 and is greater than, so that would be correct. Number 5, the set of all x such that x is between negative 3 and positive 3 inclusive. So we need 2 square brackets, and so that is answer F. Okay, number 6. We have less than, same thing as the last one except just strictly less than. So in that case we would need 2 parentheses, which is answer E. Okay, now we're going to move on to number 10. Now we're solving the solution. We're to give the solution set in both interval and graph forms. Okay, so we have 5x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 52. Okay, so I need to isolate the x, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. We get 5x is greater than or equal to 50. We divide by 5. X is greater than or equal to 10. So in interval notation, we're greater than or equal to 10. We're going from 10 to infinity. We want to include the 10, so we use a square bracket. Okay, and the graph would be with the square bracket going on 10 or a closed circle. I'll put both of them here. Either one's fine in my opinion. And shade to the right. Whoa. Shade to the right. Okay, let's move on to 16. We have negative 1.5 is less than or equal to negative 9/2. First thing I'm going to do is change this so both of these are in decimal form. And that should be an X there. Okay. So we want to divide both sides by negative 1.5. We're dividing by negative, so we have to remember to reverse the inequality, and we get x is greater than or equal to 3. So that would be 3 to infinity, and our graph would be a closed circle or the square bracket and then shade to the right. Okay, in number 22, we have x minus 2 times the quantity, x minus 4, is less than or equal to 3x. Let me double check that. X minus 2 times the quantity, x minus 4 is less than or equal to 3x. So the first thing we want to do here is distribute the negative 2. Negative 2 times x, negative 2 times negative 4 would be plus 8. So we're going to get minus x plus 8 is less than or equal to 3x. Now let me add an x to get the x's together. 8 is less than or equal to 4x. Divide both sides by 4, that's positive, so 2 is less than or equal to x. Notice I prefer to read the x first. You want to keep the inequality pointing at the 2, so that would be x is greater than or equal to 2. So we would have from 2 to infinity, and we would have either the square bracket, I'll just use the square bracket, or a closed circle, and shade to the right. Okay, number 28. Nice one with fractions. We have 7/5 times 10x minus 1, in parentheses, is less than 2/3 times 6x plus 5. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the fractions out in front by multiplying by the lowest common denominator of the two fractions. So that's going to be a 15. And what that's going to do, that's going to give me a 3 here. 3 times 7 would be 21 times our 10x minus 1. And here we're going to get a 5, and that's going to be 5 times 2 is 10 times 6x plus 5. Okay, 210x minus 21 is less than 60x plus 50. Let's get my x's together. So we'll subtract 60x from both sides. We get 150x minus 21 is less than 50. Add 21. Now go up here, and I'm going to get 150x is less than 71, and divide by 150. So x is less than 71 over 150. So it's a little less than a half. Okay, so 71 over 150. Open circle or parentheses, and less than, we're going to shade to the left. And I think I just lost my page here. So hang on a moment while I get back to it. Okay. Alright, so that's number 28. Okay, our next one we want to look at is number 34. If I can get right to the exact page. Okay, on 34 we have (10x plus 2 times x minus 4 is less than 12x minus 10. So we're going to distribute the 2. I have to pause to take the phone.